If you want to be fluent, you have to stop thinking too much and just start speaking.
That's right. The more you speak, the better you get. But how can you stop overthinking? How can you train yourself to speak more naturally? That's exactly what we'll be talking about today.
Yes! So, if you're someone who always hesitates before speaking English, stay with us until the end, because we'll be sharing some powerful tips, exercises, and mindset shifts that will help you speak English confidently without overthinking. Let's get started. So, before we get into solutions, let's first talk about the problem. Why do so many English learners overthink before speaking? What's stopping them from just talking naturally?
That's a great question, Jason. I think one of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners think, what if I say something wrong? Or what if people laugh at me? This fear makes them stay silent instead of trying to speak.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, native speakers make mistakes all the time. They mispronounce words, they forget grammar rules, they even make sentences that don't make perfect sense. But they keep talking. The difference is they don't overthink it.
Right. But English learners often feel pressure to speak perfectly, so they pause, they correct themselves too much, and in the end, they don't say anything at all. And that's a big problem because the only way to improve is to practice speaking.
That's true. Another reason why learners overthink is translating from their native language. Instead of forming sentences naturally in English, they try to think in their own language first, then translate it word by word. And of course, that takes time, so by the time they're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on.
Yes, and that makes them feel frustrated, so they stop trying. Another common problem is lack of confidence. Some learners feel like their accent isn't good enough, or they don't have a big vocabulary, so they just stay quiet.
And that silence actually makes the problem worse. The less you speak, the more nervous you feel about speaking. It becomes a cycle of overthinking and avoiding English conversations.
Exactly. But the good news is you don't need to be perfect to speak English fluently. You just need to be confident and keep talking. And that's what we're going to help you with today.
Yes, now that we understand the problem, let's talk about the solution. Why speaking without thinking too much is the key to fluency. All right, now that we understand why learners overthink, let's talk about the solution. Why speaking without thinking too much is the key to fluency. Julia, why is it so important for learners to stop overanalyzing and just start speaking?
Great question, Jason. The main reason is that fluency comes from practice, not perfection. The more you speak, the faster your brain gets at forming sentences naturally. If you always stop to think about grammar and vocabulary before you speak, you'll never develop the speed and confidence you need.
That's so true. Think about how babies learn to talk. They don't study grammar first, right? They just listen, repeat, and keep talking, even if they make mistakes. And over time, their speech improves naturally.
Exactly. And adults can learn the same way. Instead of waiting until your English is perfect, you should speak as much as possible even if you make mistakes. That's how real fluency develops.
Yes, I always tell learners, speak first, fix later. If you focus too much on correctness while speaking, it slows you down. But if you just talk and worry about small mistakes later, you'll sound much more natural.
That's a great tip. And another thing, native speakers don't care about small mistakes. If you communicate clearly, they will understand you. Nobody is judging you as much as you think.
Exactly. And actually, the more relaxed and natural you are when speaking, the more confident you sound. Confidence makes people listen to you more than perfect grammar does.
That's so true. And let's be honest, even native speakers make grammar mistakes, but they keep going. So learners should do the same. The more you practice speaking without stopping, the faster you'll improve.
Yes. So, now that we understand why thinking less and talking more is the key, let's move on to something even more exciting. Practical tips to help you stop overthinking and start speaking confidently. Now comes the most exciting part of today's episode. Practical tips to help you stop overthinking and start speaking. Julia, let's start with the first tip. What's one powerful way to stop hesitating and just talk?
One of the best ways is to think in English instead of translating from your native language. If you always translate in your head before speaking, it slows you down. But if you train your brain to think in English, words will come out faster and more naturally.
That's a fantastic tip. And a simple way to practice thinking in English is to describe your day in English. For example, if you're making coffee in the morning, say in your head, I am making coffee. The water is boiling. I am pouring it into my cup. It's a great way to make English a natural part of your daily thoughts.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Speak without worrying about grammar. Of course, grammar is important, but when you're having a conversation, communication is more important than correctness. Even if you make a mistake, people will still understand you.
That's so true. If you focus too much on grammar while speaking, you will pause a lot, and that makes you feel less confident. But if you just keep talking, your brain will naturally correct itself over time.
Right. And speaking of confidence, another great tip is to practice with yourself. Many learners say, I don't have a partner to practice with. But guess what? You can talk to yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and have a conversation, or describe what you see around you. This will help you get comfortable speaking out loud.
I love that. And here's another great technique. Use shadowing. This means listening to a native speaker and immediately repeating what they say, copying their pronunciation, rhythm, and speed. It's one of the fastest ways to sound more natural in English.
Yes, and you don't even need a teacher for this. Just find a YouTube video, a podcast, or even a movie and repeat after the speaker. This helps you stop thinking too much and just get used to speaking naturally.
That's a fantastic method. And here's another practical tip. Use simple sentences. Many learners hesitate because they try to make long, complicated sentences. But it's okay to use short, simple sentences. For example, instead of saying, I would like to discuss an important matter with you, just say, let's talk about something important. Simple is always better.
Absolutely. The goal is to keep the conversation going, not to sound perfect. And speaking of keeping the conversation going, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is part of the learning process. If you're too scared to make mistakes, you won't speak at all, and that's the biggest mistake of all.
Exactly. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. And that brings me to another tip. Immerse yourself in English every day. The more you listen to English, the easier it becomes to speak without thinking. So, listen to English podcasts, watch movies, and surround yourself with the language as much as possible.
Yes, the more English you hear, the more your brain absorbs natural speech patterns. And one final tip, set a speaking challenge for yourself. For example, challenge yourself to speak English for 5 minutes every day without stopping. Even if you don't know a word, just keep talking and find another way to express your idea.
I love that. The more you push yourself to speak, the more confident you become. So, Let's quickly summarize these tips. Think in English. Don't worry about grammar. Practice with yourself. Use shadowing. Keep sentences simple. Embrace mistakes. Immerse yourself in English. And set a speaking challenge.
Exactly. If you follow these tips, you'll start speaking English naturally without overthinking. And now, let's wrap up with some final encouragement for our listeners.
All right. Now it's time for a fun and practical exercise. We want to challenge our listeners with a spontaneous speaking challenge. Julia, are you ready?
Absolutely. This is a great way to help learners stop overthinking and start talking. So, how does this challenge work, Jason?
Here's how it works. We'll give you a topic, and you have to speak about it for 30 seconds without stopping. No long pauses, no overthinking. Just keep talking. If you don't know a word, describe it in another way. The goal is to keep the conversation going.
That's right. And Jason, I think we should show an example first so our listeners can see how it's done. Let's do a quick role play.
Great idea. Okay, Julia, your topic is describe your morning routine. Go.
Okay. Every morning I wake up at 7 a.m. First, I stretch and drink a glass of water. Then I brush my teeth and take a shower. After that, I make a cup of coffee and eat breakfast, usually eggs and toast. I check my phone for messages and then get dressed. Finally, I prepare for my work or study. That's my morning routine.
Awesome. That was smooth and natural. You didn't stop, and even though it wasn't perfect, it was clear and confident. That's the goal.
Exactly. Now, Jason, your turn. Your topic is your favorite hobby. Go.
All right. My favorite hobby is playing the guitar. I love music, and playing the guitar helps me relax. I usually practice in the evening after work. I like learning new songs, and sometimes I play for my friends. Music makes me feel happy, and I enjoy improving my skills every day.
Perfect. You didn't stop and you kept going, even if you had to think of the next sentence. That's what we want our listeners to do.
Yes. Now, it's your turn, listeners. Here's your challenge. We'll give you 3 topics, and you must choose one and speak for 30 seconds without stopping.
Here are your topics. 1. Describe your favorite food. 2. Talk about your daily routine. 3. Describe a place you want to visit.
Pick one and start speaking. Don't stop. Don't overthink. Just talk. If you don't know a word, describe it in another way. Ready? Go.
Great job! Even if you struggled a little, that's okay. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Just remember, the goal is to speak, not to be perfect.
Exactly. So, keep practicing this challenge every day. You'll be amazed at how fast your confidence improves. Now, let's wrap up with some final encouragement. We've talked about practical techniques, but there's something even more important: your mindset. If you don't believe in yourself, no amount of practice will help. So, Julia, how can learners shift their mindset to become more confident speakers?
That's a great question, Jason. The first thing to remember is this: confidence comes from action, not from waiting to feel ready. Many learners think, I'll speak when I feel confident. But the truth is, you feel confident after you speak, not before. So start talking now.
Absolutely. And another mindset shift is to stop aiming for perfection. A lot of learners hesitate because they don't want to make mistakes. But here's a secret: even native speakers make mistakes. So, instead of thinking, I must be perfect, think, I must communicate.
Exactly. Communication is the goal, not perfection. And speaking of mistakes, change the way you see them. Instead of feeling embarrassed, see mistakes as proof that you are learning. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not pushing yourself enough.
I love that. And here's another mindset shift. Stop comparing yourself to others. Many learners say, "My friend speaks better than me," or "I'll never sound like a native speaker." But the only person you should compare yourself to is your past self. Are you better than you were yesterday? If yes, you're winning.
That's such an important point. And I'll add one more. Embrace discomfort. Speaking a new language feels uncomfortable at first, but that's normal. Confidence grows when you step out of your comfort zone. So, instead of avoiding English conversations, jump into them.
Absolutely. So let's summarize these mindset shifts. 1. Confidence comes from action. Speak now, not later. 2. Forget perfection. Focus on communication. 3. Mistakes are proof that you're learning, not failing. 4. Compare yourself only to your past self. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and today we have an exciting and very important topic for all English learners. Stop thinking, start talking. And of course, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Julia. How are you today, Julia?
Hi, Jason. I'm doing great, and I'm really excited about today's episode. This is a topic that so many English learners struggle with, overthinking before they speak. Instead of just talking, they keep worrying about grammar, pronunciation, or whether they're saying things correctly, and that stops them from improving.
Exactly. I hear this all the time. What if I make a mistake? What if people don't understand me? What if I sound silly? And because of this fear, many learners hesitate to speak English at all. But here's the truth. If you want to be fluent, you have to stop thinking too much and just start speaking.
That's right. The more you speak, the better you get. But how can you stop overthinking? How can you train yourself to speak more naturally? That's exactly what we'll be talking about today.
Yes! So, if you're someone who always hesitates before speaking English, stay with us until the end, because we'll be sharing some powerful tips, exercises, and mindset shifts that will help you speak English confidently without overthinking. Let's get started. So, before we get into solutions, let's first talk about the problem. Why do so many English learners overthink before speaking? What's stopping them from just talking naturally?
That's a great question, Jason. I think one of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners think, what if I say something wrong? Or what if people laugh at me? This fear makes them stay silent instead of trying to speak.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, native speakers make mistakes all the time. They mispronounce words, and what you can do to use your time wisely, especially when learning English.
And don't worry, we will keep the conversation simple and clear so all English learners can follow and understand.
Let's get started. You're going to learn useful words, great ideas, and get a little motivation too. Are you ready?
Let's go. Time is ticking, so let's not waste a second.
So, Julia, let's start with the big question. Why is time so valuable?
Good question, Jason. Time is valuable because we all have a limited amount of it. Every day we get 24 hours, no more, no less.
That's right. And once a day is gone, it's gone forever. You can't buy more time. You can't rewind time. It's something you can never get back.
Yes, that's why we say time is life. If you waste time, you are wasting your life.
Let me ask you, Julia, Have you ever felt like you wasted your time?
Oh, yes, many times. I used to spend hours watching silly videos online. I thought it was fun, but in the end, I felt empty. I didn't learn anything. I didn't grow.
I think many of our listeners feel the same. And sometimes we don't even notice how much time we waste.
Exactly. For example, if you waste just 30 minutes a day, that's over 15 hours in 1 month. Imagine what you could do with that time.
Wow, that's a lot. You could finish a book, learn 100 new English words, or even start speaking English with confidence.
Yes, so we have to remember time is a gift. We must use it wisely, especially if we have goals like learning English.
You know, many successful people say the same thing. They treat time like money, or even more important than money.
Because money comes and goes, but time only goes.
That's powerful. Let's give our listeners a simple message. Every minute is a chance to grow. Every hour is a step closer to your dream.
Yes, if you want to speak better English, use your time to listen, speak, read, and learn. Don't wait. Don't say, I'll do it tomorrow. Start today.
Perfect. That's the key. And now that we understand how important time is, let's talk about the ways we often waste it without even realizing it.
Great idea, Jason. Let's move on to that in the next part.
Welcome back, everyone. In the last part, we talked about how time is valuable. Now, let's look at something important, the common ways people waste time.
Yes, and don't worry, if you do some of these things, you're not alone. We all do them sometimes, but once you know them, you can change them.
Exactly. So let's start with the first one, too much time on the phone.
Oh, yes. So many people spend hours scrolling through social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts.
Right. You think, just 5 minutes, but suddenly 1 hour is gone. And you ask yourself, what did I even do?
It happens to me too. But now I try to use my phone for learning. For example, watching English podcasts like this one.
That's a smart idea. So, the phone is not bad, but how you use it makes the difference.
Another common time waster is watching too many random videos or TV shows.
Especially shows in your own language. If you want to learn English, why not watch something in English?
Yes, even 15 minutes a day watching a show in English helps your ears get used to the language. It's not a waste, it's practice.
Here's a big one, procrastination. That means delaying things, right?
Yes. For example, you want to start studying, but you say, I'll do it later. And later becomes tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes never.
That happens a lot. Sometimes we wait for the perfect time to do something. But the perfect time is now.
That's so true. If you wait for the perfect time, you'll waste many days, maybe years.
Another way people waste time is by overthinking. They spend too much time thinking, planning, and worrying, and they don't take action.
Yes, like thinking, what if I make a mistake when I speak English? And then you say nothing.
Mistakes are okay. We learn by doing, not by waiting.
So stop thinking too much. Start doing even if it's not perfect.
Let's give a quick list of common time-wasting habits for our listeners. Scrolling social media. Too much. Watching too much TV or random videos. Procrastinating. Putting off tasks. Overthinking and not taking action. Doing things that don't help your goals.
That's a great list, and we all do at least one of these sometimes. But the good news is we can change.
Yes, and the first step is being aware. When you know how you waste time, you can start using your time better.
So think about your day. Where does your time go? What can you stop doing? What can you start doing?
Very good questions. And now that we've talked about how time is wasted, let's help our listeners recognize the signs that show you're wasting time.
Yes, coming up next, signs you are wasting time. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. So far, we've talked about how time is valuable and the common ways people waste it.
Now, let's talk about the signs. How do you know if you're wasting your time?
Good question. One clear sign is when you say things like, "Where did my day go?" Or "I was busy, but I didn't do anything important."
Yes, that means you were active but not productive. Maybe you did small things, but nothing that really helped your goals.
Another sign is when you feel tired and unmotivated even though you didn't do much.
Right. Wasting time can make you feel bored, lazy, or even guilty. You might say, I should have studied today, but you didn't.
Also, if you spend hours on your phone or watching TV and feel empty after, that's a sign.
Yes, if you don't feel happy or proud of how you spent your time, it's probably not helping you grow.
So let's summarize the signs. You feel like the day passed too fast. You were busy, but did nothing important. You feel tired, lazy, or guilty. You waste hours on things that don't help you. You don't feel proud of how you spent your time.
If you notice these signs in your life, don't worry. It's not too late to change.
Exactly. Once you see the signs, you can make better choices. And in the next part, we'll show you how to do that.
Stay with us. We'll be back with some real tips to use your time wisely.
Welcome back, everyone. In the last part, we talked about the signs that show you might be wasting time. Now it's time to learn how to use your time wisely.
Yes, this part is so important because once you understand how to use time well, your life can really change and your English too.
Absolutely. So, let's get into some practical tips.
Tip number 1, set clear goals. If you don't know what you want, you'll waste time doing random things.
That's right. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? Maybe it's learning 10 English words a day, or speaking for 5 minutes in English every morning.
When you have a goal, you have a reason to use your time well.
Tip number 2. Make a plan for your day. You don't need a big schedule, just write down 2 or 3 important things to do.
Yes, for example, listen to an English podcast, practice speaking for 10 minutes, read a short English story.
And when you finish, check it off. That feels really good.
Tip number 3, do the most important task first. Many people wait until the end of the day and then they're tired.
Yes, and then they skip it. So do your important work early, when your energy is high.
Tip number 4, limit distractions. Put your phone away when you study. Turn off social media notifications.
Right. You can also use a timer study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. It's called the Pomodoro technique.
It helps you stay focused and you get more done in less time.
Tip number 5. Use your free time to grow. When you're waiting on a bus, in a line, or cooking, listen to English.
Yes, use those little moments. 5 minutes here and there can add up to hours of learning each week.
Let's review the 5 tips to use time wisely. 1. Set clear goals. 2. Make a daily plan. 3. Do the most important task first. 4. Limit distractions. 5. Use small moments to grow.
These are simple but powerful, and anyone can do them even if you're busy.
That's the beauty of it. You don't need more time, you just need to use your time better.
Yes, and when you do, you'll see real progress, you'll feel more confident, and your English will improve faster.
In the next part, we'll talk about how successful people use their time and what we can learn from them.
It's going to be inspiring. Don't go away.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you're enjoying the podcast so far.
Now it's time to talk about some simple daily habits that can help you save time every day.
That's right. These habits are small, but they make a big difference.
Habit number 1. Wake up a little earlier. Even just 15 or 30 minutes can give you a calm and focused start to the day.
Yes, you can use that time to plan your day, stretch, or study English before things get busy.
Habit number 2. Make a to-do list. Every morning, write down 3 to 5 important things to do.
That helps you stay organized and not waste time thinking, what should I do now?
Habit number 3. Prepare things the night before. Choose your clothes, pack your bag, or plan your meals at night.
That saves time in the morning and helps you start your day with less stress.
Habit number 4. Avoid multitasking. Focus on one thing at a time. You'll finish faster and do it better.
Yes, when you focus, you actually save time even if it feels slower at first.
Let's quickly review the daily habits that save time. 1. Wake up a little earlier. 2. Make a to-do list. 3. Prepare the night before. 4. Avoid multitasking.
Try these simple habits, and you'll see a big change in how much you can do and how you feel.
And remember, small changes every day can lead to big results over time.
Coming up next, we'll talk about things you should stop doing if you want to stop wasting time. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Now we want to share some real-life example stories from people who learned how to stop wasting time and use it wisely.
Yes, stories can teach us a lot. So let's begin with a student story.
Meet Ali. He's 20 years old and wants to speak English fluently. For many months, he said, "I'll start tomorrow." But he spent most of his time on social media and video games.
Yes, he thought he was relaxing, but really, he was just delaying his dream.
One day, Ali watched a video that said, "Your time is your life. Don't waste it." That changed him.
From that day, he started small, just 10 minutes of English practice each day.
Now, 1 year later, Ali can speak with confidence. Why? Because he stopped wasting time and used it step by step.
Another story is about Maria, a young mother who wanted to learn English but always said, "I'm too busy."
Yes! But then she made a simple change. She listened to English podcasts while cooking and cleaning.
She didn't find more time, she used her time better, and in 6 months she improved her listening a lot.
Her message is clear. You don't need a lot of time, just good use of time.
And finally, let's talk about Daniel. He used to scroll on his phone for hours. He always said, "I don't have time to learn."
Then he did something smart. He replaced 30 minutes of scrolling with 30 minutes of reading English stories.
It wasn't easy at first, but now it's his habit. He feels proud and is learning every day.
These stories show one big lesson. Anyone can change. You don't need to be perfect. Just start with one small step.
Yes, if Ali, Maria, and Daniel can do it, so can you.
Coming up next, we'll talk about tools and apps that can help you save time and learn better.
Stay with us. You're doing great.
Before we end today's podcast, we want to leave you with a strong message. Take control of your time. Because when you control your time, you control your life.
Yes, time is like money. Once you spend it, you can't get it back. So don't wait for the perfect time to start. Start now.
Every minute you use well is a step forward. A step toward better English. A step toward your goals.
It doesn't matter if you're busy. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. What matters is that you try and that you keep going.
You have the power. You have the time. Use it wisely. Say to yourself, "Today, I will not waste time. Today, I will grow."
Because your future is built with the time you use today, so choose to make it count.
We believe in you. Now go out there and make every minute matter.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
And until then, keep learning. keep growing, and don't waste your time. That's it for today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. We hope this message inspired you to value your time and use it wisely.
Remember, even small changes can create big results. Don't wait. Start today.
If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more English. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the place where we help you improve your English and your life, step by step. I'm Jason, your host for today.